As you're looking at me now, because I'm wearing a mask, you cannot really see my face properly, because just my eyes are visible. In a moment, I'm going to try to prove to you and demonstrate the importance of nonverbal communication, and also make a case for cutting back on text messages that you might be doing right now in favor of phone calls or even better video calls. So the topic of this video is the importance of nonverbal communication, especially during a pandemic. And if you're a parent of children and teens, I think it is even more important to be aware of the messages that you're sending and those that get lost. So what is nonverbal communication? Nonverbal communication is more than body language. Verywellmind.com has a great article that describes the types of nonverbal communication that we use. So tone of voice, level of eye contact, how we dress, and others are examples of how we communicate outside of using our words. Would you be surprised to learn that the words you use may only account for 3 to 30% of the message that you're actually giving to other people? Lifesize.com suggests that only 7% of communication is verbal, quoting a famous study by Dr. Albert Mehrabian in the 1970s. The study has been criticized, and Psychology Today makes a great point that the actual percentages can vary. PGI.com, I think, has a very interesting article that basically says the exact percentage is not important. They suggest it's anywhere from 60 to 70% of communication that's nonverbal. But the important thing, and this is what I'm stressing today, is that communication is inherently a mix of verbal and nonverbal messages, and the majority are nonverbal. So I'm going to say the following sentence a few times, and each time with more of me visible to you. So first, on the screen right now, you're going to see a text message. So now you can't see me, and I'm going to say it. I am in a very good mood. So this time you can see me with my mask on. I am in a very good mood. Now I'll take my mask off. I am in a very good mood. So take a moment and think about what you just saw and what just happened. When you just read the text, you really have no way of knowing if I'm telling the truth, if I'm lying, if I'm being sarcastic, or something else. As we get closer to actually seeing my face, you get more information from me outside of the words that I use. Only when you can actually see my face without the mask on is it clear that my mood is not as described. This is why I am a firm believer in communicating as much as possible face-to-face. Only use texting in any form as a last resort for any meaningful communication. So in my article, The Impact of Self-Quarantine on Mental Health, which is on my blog, one of my recommendations is to use video communication tools as much as you can. Now you see why. So let's bring it back to parenting. COVID-19 has raised the overall anxiety and stress levels of many people, and this is not a secret. When dealing with children and teens, communication by text message instead of voice greatly increases the chance of a miscommunication and a misunderstanding. And more importantly, you're likely raising your own and your child's anxiety levels. So what do I mean by that? When we text somebody, so you get your phone and you text, and you don't get a response right away, we typically get stressed by that. Why aren't they answering? When we get a message from somebody else that's not clear, we also get stressed. And often the lack of clarity is because we don't know the real meaning and intent of the text message, even when emojis are used, because we're not getting the nonverbals. So do yourself a favor. Use text messaging only when necessary. Texting is fantastic when you need to provide information to somebody else, like pick up the milk on your way home. It's fantastic at ensuring that a person is actually free to talk. Texting somebody saying, hey, are you free right now? Or to say you're busy. Sorry, I'll call you later. But when used for actual conversations, I think that much of your message will get lost and get undelivered. When I hear people say that they spoke to somebody today, but they really didn't speak to them, they were texting with them, I kind of cringe because I wonder what messaging did they get that may be wrong, and what messaging did they not get which would have helped them better understand the communication and the situation that they were actually discussing. This is really interesting, this whole topic around nonverbal communication, because more and more with technology, we're replacing the old-fashioned ways of doing things. The actually just picking up the phone or meeting each other in our own homes. With COVID-19, things are harder, and that's a fact, and we can't change that. But what we can do is do our best to find ways, more meaningful ways to communicate using the tools that we have like Zoom and FaceTime. So thank you for watching. Any questions, please give me a call. My number is 416-613-1259, and you can reach me by email at kevin@hhcw.ca. Have a good day.